Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. Today, we have another special one for you. We are continuing to let you all know about the conference we have coming up, AGME. Austin's going to make it happening Friday, October 28th. And today, we have another special speaker that's going to be at the event and sharing a lot of great insights. We have Cole Enright, who's the Director of Analytics at the HBAR Foundation. How are you doing today, Cole?
Great. It's a pleasure to be here. Super excited.
No doubt, man. Well, I'm excited to learn more about what you got going on and what we're going to be doing at AGME. But first, let's learn a little bit more about you. Can you give us a little background on yourself?
Sure, absolutely. So, I guess I started my crypto journey back in early 2014, 2013. Heard about this Bitcoin stuff. Started collecting a couple of them. That was a long time ago, and then kind of forgot about it. Sold them all back in 2015. Felt like a genius at the time, and um, spent a long time in the Web 2 world from there. And I guess I guess at the exact top of the market, I decided to make the jump from Web 2 to Web 3 full time. So I think I'm not alone there. Um, so right now I'm director of analytics at the HBAR Foundation, and my job there is to help us measure the success of our grants. We give out grants to organizations and developers building on the HBAR on the HBAR network on the Hedera Hashgraph. And we need a way to determine how successful those grants have been, whether that be on chain or with their project updates. That's the primary role of what I do now.
And that's really cool. I mean, I think it's amazing that there's these people that can literally receive money to come and build on top of the Hedera Hashgraph ecosystem. So for those who are builders in this space, especially during these bearish times and are looking for opportunities like this, have been looking for a way to kind of, kickstart their entrepreneurial journey and to build in this space. And they think that Hedera could be a great place to start. Walk us through the process of how they would be able to apply for a grant and what is, some things that you look for when, choosing someone.
Yeah, absolutely. So to apply for a grant, it's pretty simple. We just have a form on our website where you fill it out, and then we go through a number of reviews and approval processes and due diligence, of course. And at the end of that process, we'll distribute some funding, whether that be HBAR tokens or some USDC, US dollars as well, depending on what's needed. Um, the types of companies we're looking for people with really realistically, we're looking for people that already have a go live date kind of in mind for their product and already have something that is in development, ready to go, in progress, or something that they're trying to pick which chain to build on, how to decentralize, and we try to push them over the edge to come over to our network versus some of our competitors.
Gotcha. And I know back when we were first talking about you getting involved in this, it was cool to see the various types of companies that are coming and building from NFT plays to foundation plays to interoperability. There's a lot of really cool projects. What are some of the ways, and I know I just listed a couple, but what are some of the different kind of verticals that y'all recently have been, giving some grants to if you're able to speak on it?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, So I guess so we have a number of funds for specific industries. We have our sustainability fund, which focuses on um, sustainable projects, ESG type things. A lot of trust layer type applications there, where um, like auditing how carbon credits are produced and then made liquid on certain markets. So sustainability is one of the biggest ones I'd say for us. We also have a very large metaverse fund. Where we're trying to get people to build out their worlds on our platform. And then we have some more boring funds like crypto economy and some infrastructure funds as well. So
Oh,
that's kind of how we're thinking about it from like a developer enablement perspective and metaverse sustainability, and then just going to sort of an other fund after that.
yeah. And I mean, I know that a lot of people are fired up in a lot of those categories, especially as it relates to the metaverse. But you recently just came from a conference yourself and was able to go and meet and network and meet some pretty cool people. Like, and leading up to AGME, there's been several conferences that been to this year. I know that we both met at NFT NYC this year, and there's some others that you've gone to. Why do you think it's important for people to continue to go to in-person events like during these bearish times?
Right. I think it starts with the people for sure. Getting to see the people in person. The technology is great. We love the technology for sure, but the people that are building the technology and making those connections, I think there's something more to that. So, for example, I got to meet the guys running the Brave team on the Brave wallet and the Brave browser, and now we're buddies. So, and now there's an extra level of trust. We talk about trust layer all the time. There's an extra level of trust now that I've met these guys. So, I think that's absolutely critical to be able to know who's behind the project, who are the leaders and the builders behind the product. Because you can read a pitch deck and could look really good, but if the people behind the product are not, they're not the kind of people you want to be partnered with or something like that, then the pitch isn't worth anything. So I think continuing to make those connections, making friends in person throughout the community is critical.
Definitely. And to really get that face time and to build that rapport, I think is essential. And like once you have that kind of rapport with somebody, it's easier for you to then go and meet more people and get more access to resources for something you're either building or want to learn more about and are curious about. And that's one of the main reasons why we're doing AGWI, why we are putting this conference together so that people can come together who are building in the Web3 community right now, seeing some of the local talent that is in Austin. And you are going to be featured on a panel that is focused on interoperability. So, what are some of the ways that Hedera Hashgraph and HBAR Foundation are taking active steps towards interoperability in that future?
Yeah, so this is a big focus for me. So as you can imagine, I look across a lot of different grants. We have a lot of different. I have a lot of visibility across like who's building what, and I'm starting to see some patterns emerge in the data connectivity piece. How different applications are getting on-chain data, interacting with it in their applications. So everyone's kind of going about this in a similar architecture, but slightly different execution. And the architecture would be so the data lives on chain. So challenge one: how do we connect to the chain data? How do we get the data? So everyone's got their own way to do that. There's usually an API or something like that. And then comes the aggregation piece. How do you aggregate that data, the raw data coming out of the chain, into normalized tables that you can read out of a spreadsheet? And then how do you turn those raw tables into an application? Turn that into a front end website where you can actually interact with your wallet and make Web3 calls. Those are the three steps that I'm seeing a number of different organizations work on, and the aggregation layer, taking the raw data from the chain and compiling it into a meaningful database. That's the big challenge I'm seeing right now in the industry. And some extremely talented data engineers are working on that, some of the brightest in the world. I was just at the Masari conference, and their engineers are saying we see everyone doing the same process, are following the same process here to aggregate that data, and some people are doing it better than others. I think over the next few months, we're going to see some more leaders emerge in sort of that. I don't want to call it layer zero because it's not a layer zero type protocol, but it will serve some of the same functions, aggregating lots of data from lots of different chains together, making it available for business analysts and data scientists to consume easily. We're not there yet. And I think some tools like Dune Analytics are getting there. Some chains, I don't want to name any names, are a little bit further along in that data science path than others. But yeah, that's the way the industry is going. I think we're still going through that infrastructure phase where we're trying to get all the data, compile it, and then make it shareable at scale. The scale piece, I think, is a little bit more challenging with the blockchain data, as opposed to like a traditional Web 2 database where scale is not an issue. We can just run as many programs as we need to.
Right.
Yeah, some of these APIs for these different chains are a little bit more restrictive because of the architecture and the way the data works. So I think we have some progress to make on those few pieces of the architecture in terms of aggregation, getting the data, and then sharing it.
Right. And I was having a conversation with someone about this the other day of like just how nascent Web3 is compared to, Web2 and how a lot of foundation is being built right now. But as more foundation is being built, the faster we can move, the easier it will be for these aggregators to take data, be able to use it in a constructive way, and then move faster on to the next target thing that they're trying to solve. So I'm excited for it. I'm looking forward to that particular conversation. But as you look towards AGME, what's something that you're looking forward at the conference?
Definitely meeting people, connecting, and discussing like the what other people are seeing in the interoperability space. As a data person, that's kind of where my passion really is in like the data science things, analytics, and then being able to work with being able to work so closely with the data on like the cutting edge of this technology industry. It's a true privilege, to be honest. Because there's so much that needs to be built and so much that needs to be done from the data perspective. So I'm really curious to see what other people are doing, learning more about what other projects are up to and how they're handling some of the same problems that all of my grantees are seeing that I'm seeing. So I can't wait to just get other people's perspectives.
Definitely. And I think there's going to be a good group of people that not only are focused on that, but also have a ton of other verticals that they're pretty in depth in. So I know looking forward to seeing you there, listening in, and as we kind of wrap up here, man, what's a final thought that you want to leave with everyone listening in today?
Oh, keep building. I think it's time to build and get your products ready. And if you're scared to take a jump into like starting a product, go ahead and do it. I think now is the time. When the next bull market comes back around, I think it'll be quick, it'll be sudden, and some products will be ready and some will not be. So I think the people that have their products ready to go are going to be in a much better position to take full advantage of when the market flips over the next couple of years. Yeah. So again, I think the other piece I'd like to finish with is to hammer back on that architecture piece. That is what's holding this industry back, in my opinion, from the developer's perspective. Being able to get the data and do whatever you need to do with it quickly at high volume. There's not many chains that can really do that right now.
Yeah.
Some, like I said, some are better than others, but that scale piece, that volume piece, we're not there yet. So definitely keep an eye on some of those other data companies that are bringing all of the chain data together from all different blockchains and projects. I think we have a long way to go in terms of enabling developers across the whole industry. So I can't wait to see once we unlock that piece, once we get the data volume unlocked across the whole industry, what do we build from there? Where does the industry go from there? I think we're at the very beginning of all that.
Which goes back to your original final thought of builders need to build right now and get ready because we get past this other side. There's whoever is prepared and ready are going to prosper and fly, and others may not. But as we get closer to getting this architecture figured out, it's going to help this industry continue to grow faster. Hopefully, get us a little bit closer to mass adoption, and help this Web3 ecosystem continue to thrive. So, Cole, really appreciate you spending some time with us today. What are ways that people can connect with you and learn more about what's going on at the HBAR Foundation?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Cole Enright. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, just Cole Enright on LinkedIn. Those are probably the best two ways to get a hold of me right now. And if you're interested in a grant or you have an idea that you'd like to build on Hedera, feel free to pop over to hbarfoundation.org and apply for a grant.
Sounds perfect. Well, definitely appreciate your time. Everyone listening, make sure you go check out Cole. And as always, stay cryptocurrent.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. This show and any other cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.